Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Danny. I'm going to be your host for this astrological tour. Man, the skies are just on fire. There's a lot of crackling and sparkling. We have Mars in Ophiuchus in the bends. I'll explain what that is. We also have Venus entering Scorpio and Ophiuchus. We have Comet 3I-ATLAS entering the constellation of Leo. This is a big moment coming up this week. And then we also have a full moon coming up this week. It's been such a crazy Mercury retrograde. I think I went live once at the very beginning of Mercury retrograde, and then I had some technical difficulties, and then life kind of got in the way. But I'm so happy and grateful to be here. I hope you guys are doing well and having a magical day, living your best lives, all that good stuff. We definitely have so much to talk about. I just couldn't not go live this week. So that is the name of the game today. So we'll just call this the cosmic update. Let's see who's here. Terry Ryan, hello and welcome. Thanks for coming. Do you guys want to listen to some music while we do this? Let's see. Do a little lounge music. You'll have to let me know how it sounds for you. That's kind of fun. If you hate the music, let me know. I might go lo-fi. Let's see. Ooh, I like that. If that gets too weird, we can always change it. Okay, move that right there. All right, let's see. We have Kaki from South Texas. Hello, hello. Snowy in Ontario. It was 59 degrees this morning when I got off of work. So not too bad, not too bad. Of course, Lori is here. Love you so much. Thanks for being here. And Kaki, everybody give some energy and support for this task that you're trying to do. It is harder than heroin to quit cigarettes. So good for you. Good for you. Maya's here. Thanks for coming. The Sprout Queen. Hello. Let's see if I missed anybody. Shakti Veda. Hello, hello. Yeah, the weather's not too bad. It's kind of cloudy and gray with a little bit of a chill and some north wind. It kind of dries it out. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, and if the music's okay, and if you guys are good, we can dive into some of this. So yeah, the sky right now is holding some pretty steady patterns. One of the things that I noticed was Mars in Ophiuchus. This only happens every 2 years, and Mars is square the north node and square the south node. So what that's usually called being in the bends. And in the bends isn't comfortable, because when you've got your planet of action that wants to go forth and to do things, but you've got destiny pulling it in one direction and the past pulling it in the other direction, sometimes you don't quite know what to do. You know, you have all this like pent up gooey energy that you just can't use. And so I did a video last week that I think is going to be really helpful to navigate this time frame. The other thing that I noticed was this grand trine that seems to be holding very, very steady with Jupiter, the Saturn and Neptune combination, and with Black Moon Lilith. Then we have the whole parade of personal planets moving through the darkest, deepest part of the sky. And then we have a full moon coming up and some sign changes. So this is big. This is a lot of shifty energy. I have a couple of announcements, but one of the things that I experienced that was very Mercury retrograde was this. So every year we get a new calendar that we put up on our wall, and it's always beagle puppies because we have a beagle and we love beagles. So no different this year. I ordered this one, and this is what I got. Now, at first glance, it looks fine, right? But I noticed something odd, that here on January 8th, it's a Thursday of 2026, this calendar would have you believe that we're having a new moon, which we're not. So all of these moon phases throughout the whole year are completely wrong. So that's fine. But I mean, whatever. We do astrology. We know the moon phases. I just thought that was interesting because usually it's right, but because I guess Mercury retrograde's right when we would order the calendar, it came like that. So my friend Rio Larmon, she taught the Hellenistic course with me. She does these little priestess press calendars. Well, not little, they're pretty amazing. And they're all hand drawn. They're all beautiful. So you guys should check those out. Then I had a very Saturn Neptune moment. So I was going through my stuff, I was organizing things, and I found my old astrology student notebook. And I got a little tear in my eye because when I was trying to figure out how to do transits, I think it was right around this page actually where I had the download that I have to study Venus because there were only a few books out there about her cycle, and that began my 4-year long journey studying her energy. So that was pretty nostalgic. That was pretty cool. I always want to show this to you guys in Stellar Foundations, but I can never find it. And I did find it finally. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've been traveling back and forth about 5 hours away from my house to the new lake house that we bought, and it's a fixer-upper. Everything in that house has been done custom and strange, and so everything that David or my husband wants to, fix, he's got to redo it. So, but this sounds okay, guys? Because if you can hear it good and the music's okay with you, then I will proceed into the announcements. I have a few for you guys, so let me just see what I want to talk about. Okay, let's see. I want to get these out of the way so you guys know what's going on in my world. There's so much going on. Okay, so thing one is the second annual Sidereal Summit. This is happening next week between the 8th and the 13th of December. Annalena Fuchs, you guys may know her. She does cosmic human design using the real sky. She's put together a compilation of video interviews and chats about what we do and sidereal astrology, and my talk is all about Venus. And I didn't have anything really prepared like I normally do. I'm trying this new approach where I just kind of come and teach instead of present, kind of be more authentically channeling information rather than just trying to make it look perfect. Because I know what I'm talking about. It's just sometimes that makes me feel good to have something like that to stand on. So I showed up just in raw form, ready to answer whatever questions she had about Venus. And I took her down a few rabbit holes. And during the conversation, she would go, "Oh my God, wow. I had no idea. This is so amazing. This is so amazing." So I'm excited to have that actually be published as part of this summit. Basically, what you do is you just click on the register link. It's free to register. You will get the schedule this week, I think, for what day I'm on. But there's a bunch of other great speakers. I'm going to show you the website where you guys can go. Athens going to be in it. Ike Rodriguez will be there. George Mason will be there. Elena will be there. There's 13 of us. And so each day you'll get, I think, 2 or 3 of the interviews. And then if you want to have access to it all year, you can pay like a small fee, like $47 or something like that. But that's coming. So that link is in the description. If you guys want to check it out, go look, see who's in there. If that seems interesting to you, or if you know people that may want to come, that would be really, really awesome if you could send them our way. Because I think it will be, I'm going to listen to every speaker too, because every one of those people has something amazing to contribute. So I'm honored to be among that crowd. One of our students in Stellar Foundations, Christine, is in there too. I'm not sure what she's going to be talking about, but I'm excited to hear what she's presenting. So I'd love for you guys to join me on that. That's thing one. I do want to shout out a bunch of channels really quickly, just because, actually just, 2 channels in particular right now, because they're pertinent to what we're talking about. So let me do that, and then we will get into the astrology for today. All right, let me share screen. Share entire screen. We are not going to share system audio, and we are going to share. Okay. So now let's get over to here. This is one of my shout outs. Actually, this video, Mars in all signs, Mars return in Ophiuchus by house. So for those of you that are Ophiuchus Marses, this is going to be a great video for you. You will go down here. If you have Mars and Ophiuchus natally, if you know which house it's in, you can go ahead and click on here. There's a short reading. But then for anyone with a natal Mars, which is all of us, you're going to get, like, for example, I am Mars in Leo. So there's a nice reading here for you there. And then also just general information. This is a great video that is linked in the description. Please check out that video. And then also the Saturn stations direct. So this recently happened along with Mercury going direct. And you want to know what's happening with your own Saturn for sure. And there's two reasons why. Is because when Saturn begins to station direct after several months of being retrograde, it kind of feels easy when Saturn moves retrograde. We don't really seem to have kind of the taskmaster riding us so hard. I always notice that. But then when Saturn moves direct again, things begin to manifest and to crystallize. So if you can't be your own taskmaster while Saturn is retrograde, when Saturn turns direct, you will feel a little bit behind the eight ball. But otherwise, if you've been doing the work, if you've been living authentically, if you've been doing your responsibilities, then usually Saturn's pretty nice to you when it goes direct. And I do have this also by your rising sign, and then also what sign you were born with, because what I'm telling you in this video is where you are in your greater 30-year Saturn cycle. So for instance, I'm in the last quarter of my Saturn cycle, my second Saturn cycle. You might be hitting a Saturn return, or you might be hitting a Saturn opposition, and it just depends on what sign your Saturn's in, and I show you how to do that in this video. So do check out both of those videos, please. And then I would like to shout out this video in particular from Archaics. So this is part of the larger scheme to debunk the zodiacal ages in order to prove that our world isn't as old as some might say it is. I mean, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me how old the world is, but to some people it really does matter. And what he has found out in his research is very, very interesting. And he puts the discovery of the current Western tropical zodiac on a timeline so that we can actually see that the ages, the zodiacal ages, like the age of Pisces, the age of Aquarius, the age of Aries, all of those ages, even the age of Leo, is a fairly modern construct. So in other words, you really can't say that the ancients knew that they were living in the age of Leo, even if they really were. Okay, so, but this is a very excellent video. He does some history on the zodiac, which I think is very useful for those of you that study astrology. So I'm gonna shout out that video in particular. That is also linked in the description. And then this podcast, this is episode 2 with my friends over at Sumerian Astrology. These ladies are the founders of the International Sidereal Astrology Association. Please go and listen to this podcast while you have nothing to do, or listen to it, at 1.5 or 1.25 speed. This man is a genius down here. He's doing amazing work with ancient astrology, showing that they actually used house systems. So it was very, very fascinating to listen to. When I was driving home from the lake house 2 days ago, I listened to this entire podcast and it was fascinating. So do check this video out. That is also linked below. And I think that's everything that I wanted to shout out. Now for, I don't have their channels pulled up, but for 3I-ATLAS, if you want to see what amateur astronomers are looking at, then I recommend you go to Dobsonian Power. You can also go to Ray's Astrology or Ray's Astronomy. They both take pictures of 3I-ATLAS and they show you where in the sky it is. So it's very useful. And the reason I like following people that are actually looking at 3I-ATLAS is because I don't know if you guys noticed, but there is a whole lot of stuff out there about 3I-ATLAS, especially before it reached its perihelion. I haven't been seeing a whole lot since then because something very interesting has actually happened with this object. So before, when it was coming in and it was in the western sky as the sun was setting, we were getting interesting data about it. Very few pictures, pictures that were released sort of late. There was a lot of conspiracy behind it about what it could be. And it is unusual. It seems like it's made of something that is not what our usual comets are made of, especially by what it's emitting. And as it got closer and closer to the sun, its gases and ices started to sublimate, and it started to do things. When it gets hot like that, when it hits solar radiation within 2 astronomical units, then these ices and these gases that have been dormant for years suddenly become volatile and active, and it starts kicking out all of this gas and dust, and so it starts spinning in all kinds of crazy directions. And that's what happened when it got to perihelion. The closest it was to the sun, which was 1.36 or 1.37 astronomical units, 137 right there. It really lit up. It activated. It also activated the sun, I think, because at that point, our sun had these sunspots in this coronal hole that was putting all these high stream proton beams headed towards Earth. And since then, it has been very bright, and it is approaching its closest approach to Earth. This will happen on the 19th of December, which is also a new moon. So that's going to be a very interesting new moon to decode. If you guys, also I forgot to tell you guys, put your questions in here, because when we get to certain breaks during our conversation today, I will absolutely answer them. I have no problem doing that. This is more free form. We're just going to kind of flow with the astrology, what's been on my mind, what I've been working with, what I've been thinking about. And so hopefully it'll be helpful to you guys too. All right, let's see. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the actual sky? Let's do it. Let me show you this real quick too. I wanted to show you the Sidereal Summit website so you know where you're going. It's right here. This is what the website looks like. I think it's just a cool idea to put all these people together. So we got Pippa Kate, Athen Comenti, Anna Maria Roscoe, Nick McDowell, Ike Rodriguez, myself, Kylie Patchett, Richard Mason, Satora Yusufi, Heidi Timonen, David Kahn, and Christine Cardoza. So, and then Annalena is the host. So this week I should have which day I will be speaking, but I think you guys should sign up for it. It's absolutely free to register here. Like I said, if you wanted to have access to it for more than a week, then you would do the small fee. I think it's $47. I don't know. It's in here somewhere if you guys want to check it out. So that's that. Let's look at the sky. I want to take you on a tour of the sky because it's important when we do the kind of astrology that we do, which, by the way, guys, is not tropical. Tropical astrology isn't really technically astrology. It's actually seasonal planetology. Yeah, I'm sharing. Okay. Meaning that, and they'll admit this to you, that the aspects of the planets, in other words, the angles that they make to each other, is the most important and most accurate part of the study they do. And of course it is, because it's the only part that's accurate. If they were to actually use the constellations behind which these luminaries travel, then they would get a different reading that is more accurate, more precise. I don't think it's luck that, when I first started out doing readings, that people were stunned at how accurate it was. I don't think it was luck or skill. It was simply reading the information that was available through the archetypes that we have studied for thousands of years. Even before Western tropical came around, these archetypes existed, and they create grooves in our psyche, grooves in our subconscious, where we're able to categorize and place information in a way that our subconscious understands, in a way that our subconscious recognizes and sees and feels safe to uncover and discover, right? So this is a good thing. One of the things you guys should do, if you don't do already, is step outside at night when there's a clear sky and the moon is dark, and see if you can notice the different colors in the stars. This is such a cool exercise, because if you're in the city, all you really see maybe are the bright stars, maybe Venus, maybe Jupiter, but you don't actually see the stars. So if you can go to a spot where you can watch for about 15 minutes, and when you're gazing at the sky at night, you don't have to squint really. You just relax your gaze You let the rods and cones adjust to the light, and you will notice that the stars begin to show difference in brightness. They begin to show difference in color. And when your subconscious can recognize that, even if you're just gazing and relaxing and looking at the sky, you're encoding, you're downloading, you're pulling in stellar cosmic data. Okay, it's really amazing. Sometimes when I do this and I'm having like a nice, Venus Pleiades moment, my ears will start to ring. And it's not because I'm getting older. It's because I'm hitting the theta waves while I'm absorbing subconsciously the energy of the stars. And so I encourage you to do this too, because it makes so much more sense. And then when you plop the asterisms in there, it just helps you find your way. Like, those stars by Sagittarius, yeah, that's where we're going. Even, and there may be a part of the sky that speaks to you more than the ecliptic. And that's cool too. Like some people will stare at the sky and they'll see Orion's belt, or they'll want to stare at star Sirius. One of my favorite constellations to stare at is Cygnus, this constellation right here. So I encourage you guys to be stargazers, to go out there and look at the sky, to know what lunar phase you're in at all times, to know what constellation the sun is sitting in. And then if you can get the moon and the sun and the phase down, then you're doing great. You don't even really need to know a lot of astrology, but you can speak the language at that point. And then you can dive into the deeper Mercury cycles and the deeper Venus cycles. Okay? So, all right, let's talk about the sky. So the sun just literally moved into Ophiuchus and Scorpio. A lot of people ask me like, okay, when does Ophiuchus start and when does Scorpio end? And I really can't answer that for you. There's two theories. One theory is that you just split it down the middle. You find the end of Libra, you find the end of Sagittarius, and you just cut it down the middle. And so anything in this part right here, at least near Antares, is a Scorpio energy. And then anything beyond Antares, near the foot of Ophiuchus, let's put the actual constellation art in. That helps a little bit. And anything that actually touches Ophiuchus is Ophiuchus. The IAU puts literally Antares in constellation Ophiuchus and only gives Scorpio just a few days. So I don't really care what you call the sun today. It's in Scorpio-Fucus. It is in the reset point of our zodiac. And this is the reset point because this is where our Milky Way galaxy crosses our sun's ecliptic. This is like a node. This is like the north node of the moon or the south node of the moon. It's where two ecliptics cross one another. And it's always just an incredible portal of energy. And the reason we love the galactic center right now, and we should really be thinking of our seasons in terms of solstices right now, not equinoxes, is because our winter solstice and our summer solstice for this time of year occurs right here. Right here when the sun is just inside of Sagittarius. And it's been processing from Capricorn all the way to here. So whatever you want to call this sun, this is a Scorpio-Fucus sun. It is descending into the underworld. This is a reset moment for our solar energy, a reset moment for our ego. This is a time when you usually go into hibernation and sleep, even if it's summertime. And what's so bizarre about this time of year, at least for me, I call it the HOLI-DAZE, not DAYS, but DAZE, because we literally are in a holy days. They're encouraging us to go out and shop. They're encouraging us to go out and spend money we don't have. They're encouraging us to go to parties and eat a whole bunch of food when really we should be fasting. We should be hibernating. We should be pondering what we're getting rid of. We should be sleeping as much as we can. We should be taking our vitamin D. Of course, there's time for celebration. But maybe wait till January when it's Sagittarius season, when the Phoenix is rising, when everything feels good, when there's finally a real reset of these planets, which is coming. And I'll show you guys in a little bit. But that's the season we're in right now. So I don't know if you guys are feeling it too. Let me know. Let me know how you guys are feeling and what part of the sky you love. We also have Mars and Venus making a little sandwich with the sun. You see that? Venus is entering into Scorpio in 2 days, which will be the second right here. And Mars continues his trek through Ophiuchus. These three are actually going to all meet up in Sagittarius within a month or so. So we'll have a reset of the Venus and Mars and Sun cycles. And you know what? This might mean that we're all in for relationship changes, right? Those partnerships that we have, maybe our relationships have gone stale. Maybe there's things that you're not saying to someone. Maybe you just kind of know in your heart it's over, but you haven't really done it yet. If you're in that kind of a space, then the January new moon is the January full moon, and then the new moon are going to be that sort of relationship shift moment for us. So definitely watch out for that. It could also be the reset of a brand new creative cycle or creation cycle. There's going to be a lot of pregnancies resulting from this, I think, too, as well. So a lot of people are going to get pregnant in January. All right, and then Mercury is just station direct and is moving towards this pile up, which will all come together. Actually, let's just look at it. They're all going to come together. Let's see, we're watching the date here. This was the moon just swung by. This is the new moon here. This is when the 3I-ATLAS will be the closest approach to Earth. So that should be a pretty magical day for a lot of reasons. Solstice is 2 days later, right here. And then the full moon is right around here. So you can see like everything's kind of piled up there, but as we get to the full moon and into the next new moon, which will be on the 19th, you've got Pluto, Venus, Mercury, Sun, Moon, all like right here within those 5 degrees of each other, right in the Sag and Capricorn gap. So this feels like the new year to me. Like energetically, we're going to go through sort of this death process where we're shedding our skin like the serpent. And then I feel like the rebirth part is going to be right here around January 19th. So these are our holy days, my friends. This is when a Mercury cycle resets, you want to manifest. You want to think about like what can you feasibly bring into your reality within 6 weeks. I think it's 88 days. Yeah, 88 days. So about 10 or 11 weeks. What are you going to bring into your life? And you can start doing that. Mercury retrograde is so magical for me. The way I've been working with Mercury retrograde for probably about 3 years now. Don't get me wrong, things still happen, like the stupid calendar and live streams going crazy. But yeah, I'll think a thought, and my wish is the universe's command. It's incredible. It's amazing. So the result of that is, though, you have to be very mindful of your thoughts. You cannot be having hateful, nasty thoughts, and we're all still working on that for sure. But it is very, very spooky. The Venus reset will be the larger creative cycle. This might be the pregnancy cycle. This might be, you want to build a business or you want to launch a huge project, because this will be a 20-month cycle with its peak in 10 months. So what can you feasibly create in 10 months? So maybe you're writing a book. Maybe you're planning a trip, a pregnancy, things like that. So that's the reset there. And then, of course, the new moon, working with Capricorn and Sagittarius themes for that emotional cycle. And then, of course, the Pluto-Sun yearly connection, which happens actually every 366 days. That is a purging. So I just feel like this is the new year right here, you guys, even though it's January 19th. So even if you get through New Year's Eve and you don't feel like, oh my God, let's make this New Year's resolution, let's make all of this happen. If you don't feel that right after New Year's Eve, this is why. You're just not energetically there yet. So if you want New Year's resolutions, if you want to kick a habit, or if you want to eat better, start on January 19th. Don't start on the 1st. It absolutely will not work. All right, so that's Sun and Moon. Let me go back to today so we can just orient ourselves where everything is. This is the party side of the sky, though. So let's take out the landscape and just see what's kind of holding space for these personal planets. What are the bigger energies that are moving more slowly, that are holding space for our personal astrology? You have Jupiter here, retrograde in Gemini. So everything that was going on direct creatively, now it's all going internal. If you have a natal Jupiter retrograde, you're going to feel a lot of blessings coming through. expansion, opportunities. If you have a direct retrograde, then you're going to be wanting to be generous while Jupiter's in retrograde. So if you're born with a direct Jupiter, you want to be as generous as possible. And so for the holiday season is what I'm saying, right? So you're born with Jupiter direct, Jupiter's retrograde right now, be as generous as possible. When Jupiter goes direct again for you, you will reap the benefits of that generosity. But if you're born with a retrograde Jupiter and Jupiter's retrograde right now, then now is the time to receive. And there is an art to receiving and saying yes and still holding your boundaries at the same time. Then we have Uranus in Taurus, conjunct the Pleiades, also retrograde right now. The same things kind of apply. So this is, I want to see Uranus is retrograde right now. So this retrograde energy means that there's some internal shifts going on inside of you. Like you're changing your root structure. And we have to do this. Uranus has to go through Taurus. It has to go through the body. It has to go through the physical energy. Things have to feel the Uranus sizzle first before you can even consider this Uranus in Gemini. Uranus in Gemini is going to be about the nervous system, about receiving amazing downloads. Yes, this will happen, but it won't happen for about 6 more years. But when it does, we'll be ready because True Sky Sidereal astrologers will be grounding the body. We'll be sending the electric current through the ground so that the root structure can really hold the base. That way, when we receive these downloads, we'll be in a much better space. This is also the crossing of the Milky Way ecliptic on this side of the sky. So if you follow the Milky Way around, that's why this coming full moon is a big deal, because the moon will be right here. And it's basically you know how when we have an eclipse, it's because the full moon is on the nodes of the moon. The sun and the moon are on the lunar nodes. But if you've got sun and moon on the galactic nodes, this is a really big portal too. So we're moving through it. Then we've got today, in particular, we have moon in Pisces. So it's, kind of a sleepy day. I feel it. After we get done with this live stream, I'll probably hit the nap for a little bit. Let's move into Saturn, because Saturn just stationed direct. So this is so interesting because you have a rare moment right now where Saturn is moving this way and Neptune is still retrograde moving this way, albeit very slowly, but they're moving toward one another. So we have the clarity of purpose, the clarity of action, the clarity of integrity moving into the space where Neptune's retrograde, meaning that the veil is lifted. So you guys should be feeling that nostalgia kind of lift away, and now you have a little bit more clarity, especially as we move through, this week and the next full moon. Whatever we release from that will help bring in this clarity. All right. And then, of course, as we move back around, we have to search for Pluto in this and see where Pluto is. So here is Pluto. Pluto will not be in Aquarius until 2040. So we are not there yet. Pluto is at the very first degree of Capricorn in the constellational charts. So we have a good 15, maybe 12 years. 15 years of Pluto destroying the structures that don't bring us to our highest timeline. And it's supposed to do that. That's wonderful. Pluto destroyed our beliefs here in Sagittarius, the things that we thought were true, the dogmas that were not serving us. Pluto absolutely destroyed those through the early 20s and the teens. Absolutely. And now we are, because our beliefs have changed, now the structures are going to change. And it's not really catastrophic. It's good. Things that don't work are going to go away. And it's just the way the cycles of heaven work. So that's the sky. Let me think where we want to go next. Let me see what you guys are talking about. What degree is Saturn at? Let's see. Let me go back a little bit. The African Wolf's here. Hello, friend. Heather says the summit sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm kind of honored to be considered one of the guests among that group of 13. There's some really amazing minds in that group for sure. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, Sprout Queen, I know you've been going through it. She says Saturn is at the same degree he was for her natally 59 years ago. So that means you are in your second Saturn return. So now your life should be more about doing it smarter rather than harder, delegating. Sometimes people have a really big crash when Saturn returns the second time. There's an amazing transformation that needs to take place for Saturn between, his half return, his second half return, and that kind of where menopause and Chiron naturally live. There's a transformation that has to take place. For me, it's been, and I don't think that my soul is going to let me put up with anything literally for the next 10 years. Like when I approach my Saturn return, because I can feel that there's this there's this energy inside of me that just gets so angry when it feels like a boundary is being crossed. And I know it's trying to protect me. So I'm working with that. It's very interesting. I'm usually normally a very sweet person, but sometimes, especially here lately, it's like, oh, you're going to cross my boundary. Well, and then the knives come out. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I feel ya. All right. Kaki says natal Saturn is in your sun sign and in your 7th house. Okay. Mercury's in Virgo in the 2nd house. I'm typing this so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Okay. Yeah, so whatever your sun sign is, you would pick that for Saturn, for the Saturn video, Saturn Stations Direct, and it'll give you your cycle. The way you know what part of your cycle is in by knowing the constellation. So I have natal Gemini, Saturn's in Pisces right now. It's approaching the final square. If you have Saturn in Virgo, then you're at your Saturn halfway point. So you're halfway to your next Saturn return. If you're, and if it's conjunct, then you're in the return for sure. All right. Cooley says, what website is recommended for a true sidereal chart? Lori put this link in, so you can absolutely go and get that. This is very useful. This will help you find your ascendant sign, because I'm going to be doing all of my recorded energy readings by rising sign now. That is the most accurate. I'm getting the most amazing feedback from you guys. Some of the most touching, stories, oh my God, you've nailed it. And it brings a warmth to my heart and a tear to my eye, and it's really beautiful. So we are going to be using those. And so this will help you find that. And the way that you find it is by looking to the left of the chart. So you look to the left side, and whatever is spanning that cusp between the 12th house and the 1st house, that constellation is your rising sign. That also gives you your chart ruler, because whatever planet rules that sign is also your chart ruler. There's some tiny exceptions when we look at Ophiuchus, but yeah. I don't know what the context was. It must have been something I was talking about. Oh, gazing at the sky. Some people like to look at certain stars. Some people are called to certain energies. If you want to use the software, the True Sky Astrology software, then you want to go to Mastering the Zodiac. I think he has a calculator on there too. Heather's called to the Pleiades. Yeah, I am too, because it's literally right on my ascendant, the Pleiades. And every time I go outside, my eyes are immediately drawn to them if they're above the horizon. Laurie's a sky gazer. Do you see the different colors in the stars and the different brightnesses? Yeah, definitely a HOLI-DAZE. Everyone give a happy belated solar return to Heather. Yep. True Sky does have cusps, but it's like between the constellations, and the cusps are mostly between the houses. Okay, that makes total sense. Look, we have somebody whose handle is Stargazer. That's awesome. Hello, Stargazer. Welcome to the Stargazers community. We do have a beautiful community. That's so great. Heather says, I've been feeling like December 1st week is the start of my new year. Is there a reason why? It just feels so natural for me. Well, maybe it is. And one of the videos I'm going to teach about, one of the concepts I'm going to teach about this month in just a week or two, I'll be creating this video, is how to work with each of the signs, because you guys are every sign. It's not just your sun, it's not just your moon, it's not just your ascendant, you're every sign. And what the sun and the moon do every month of every year is each constellation or space in the sky has a different experience with the moon each month. So for example, this month we're going to have a Taurus full moon. So that means that 6 months ago, Taurus had a new moon. And every month since then, Taurus is experiencing a new 1/12 of the moon, a new segment, a new phase of the moon. So 6 months ago, Taurus had its new moon. 5 months ago, it had a crescent moon. 4 months ago, it had, a first quarter moon, and now it's a full moon. And I've always wondered why the December full moon feels amazing for me. Like I have a lot of energy, a lot of activity, my brain's working. I'm at peace. I don't feel stressed or struggled. And it's because my rising sign is experiencing a full moon, right? Now, next month, my second house is going to have its full moon. It'll be in Gemini, right? So you can work like that. You can work with house and sign. And throughout the year, that part of your chart is going through its own sort of longer lunar cycle. It's pretty cool. And I think if we can look at it like that, it can help us focus on, parts of our chart that are activated or important because of the lunar cycle. So watch out for that video. That's going to be good. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. I'm going to show you guys how to connect with me at the end. But yeah, like the video, subscribe if you're lurking. There's Jupiter is direct in Ophiuchus. Yeah, if it doesn't have the RX next to it, then it is a direct planet. So while Jupiter's retrograde, it's very important for you to be as generous as possible, so that when Jupiter moves direct again, you will reap the benefits. Oh, hey, Brian's here. Hello. Brian was looking at his chart and notices the ephemeris graph shows 2 planets aspecting my south node, but not north node. Is it a bug? I didn't think that could happen. All right. Yes, with every software, you're going to notice things that are a little different, a little off, a little wonky. It's okay. It's okay. It may just be that you need to widen the orb of influence in order for that to show up. But you're right. The lunar nodes should have 2 aspects with every planet. So like Mars, for example, right now being in the bends to the lunar nodes, there's a square one way and there's a square the other way. And it should always be like that. Now what's going to happen, and we'll watch the chart and I'll show you, as Mars moves, the square to the south node is going to release and the square to the north node is going to increase. But both are going to release just in different directions. And that orb of influence, depending on what day it is, you might see Mars in a square to only one of the nodes because it's already lost its influence with the other one. So that's probably what you see. And if I can remember to do that when we look at the moving chart, I'll show you. Moon Baby says, yes, certain stars definitely shine brighter. Lori, I didn't know that about you. That's great. You're going to love the next class I'm going to put out. It's going to be great. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of what that looks like before we're done. So the African Wolf asks, if my ascendant is in Leo, then the ruler of my chart would be the sun. Correct. 100%. That's awesome. All right. Good. Did we get a new member? I think we did. Oh, that's so cool. I think H Rain ZZZ joined. Thank you. Welcome to Stargazers. I don't have any bumpers like the fancy guys do, but yes, Leo would be the ruler of the sun. Leo rising, all of you, not just African wolf, but Leo rising, Aquarius rising, Taurus rising, and Scorpio rising. You all need to watch my next full moon forecast. All 4 of those ascendants are going to have an intense full moon. And when I do that video, I'll explain why, but yeah, it's going to be big. Okay, let's see what else. All right. Welcome to Stargazers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cool. All right, I got through all your comments. I do have a little bit more that I want to show you, because we do need to talk about 3I-ATLAS, and then I also want to talk about Venus, but I won't keep you guys too much longer. Let me share my screen again. I don't know if you guys have all read the book, The 13th Sign, or if you've seen my presentations on the Cosmic Healer's Journey. Within the zodiac that we're used to, we have this path, right? We have this hero's journey, and it starts in Aries and it goes counterclockwise and it ends in Pisces. Well, for the Cosmic Healer's Journey, because of the profound knowledge and gnosis and thinness of the veil here, with the galactic center being here, to me, it feels more natural to start it at the solstice, to start it where the solstice starts, which is Scorpio and Ophiuchus. So for me, we move this way. We move clockwise. It's the direction of precession. It's the direction that the sky turns every day. It is the direction of least resistance for the planets. So when they go retrograde, they're sort of sailing with the sky and with precession. Planets moving in a direct fashion, counterclockwise, are moving against the grain, working out karma, right? This isn't new information. So what if we drifted our story clockwise? Would that give us a story of the soul? And indeed, a download did come to me. And I was able to map out this cosmic healer's journey, where the soul goes through its first death, the fallen angel stage, right? Where you fall into this plane upside down. You're still a spirit, right? Then you go through the halls of Libra and you pick out your karma. You decide what battles you want to fight in this lifetime, what actions you want to accomplish, who you want to, entangle with while you're here. And then you embody in Virgo through the gestation of your mother. And I even go into what happens when babies are lost in this stage, what that means. Because there is a soul journey that isn't just physical. It's not just about like knowing who you are. That's only part of this whole soul's journey. It's almost as if we could put the hero's journey just within Aries, whereas the soul's journey is this whole zodiac, you see? So you just stayed in Virgo, and then you're born. You're born in Leo. Leo is the S-U-N-S-O-N, soul. It's the pure, innocent spirit of source. I also go into what happens when children exit early here in the book. But here is when this is our childlike energy. This is when we're most connected to the divine. And this is when we're most pure. And of course, we go into Cancer and the veil drops. This is our second death. This is when we forget how pure and how divine and how beautiful and how amazing and how powerful we are. And so we have to sense through emotion where we're safe, where we're secure, where we're held. So emotional imprinting occurs here. And then Gemini is your knowledge imprinting. So this is where beliefs become ingrained. That's why they take you to school really early and they teach you everything really early so that you'll say, yes, this is the truth. And this is the way it's always done. This is the way I'm always going to do it. And then in Taurus, you get to experiment. You get to taste, touch, feel, smell. This is where you decide what you like, what you don't like. This might be where you decide if you want a family, what kind of job you want to do. It's really just self-discovery and energy like that. And then Aries is where you finally know who you are. But once you achieve all that, there's always, raise your hand if you've felt this, okay? For those of you that have had an accomplishment where you've worked very hard in your life to accomplish something. When you got there, were you like, okay, what's next? Like, what am I missing? If any of you have had sort of that, normal, mundane life, and then all of a sudden you're like, what's next? Well, what's next is a spiritual awakening. And I'm here to tell you a whole lot of humans went through this very, very recently. There's more and more waves of awakening that are increasing in frequency. But recently, a lot of us did. A lot of us went through this awakening phase, dark night of the soul, which is Pisces. It's a time of solitude. It's a time of releasing things. It's a time of reconnecting with who you really are on a deep, authentic level, finding your compassion, finding your spark again for life and for creation. And then when you come out of that awakening, you're in Aquarius, where you meet your soul tribe. You're like, oh, the way you meet friends after you've gone through your dark night of the soul is, hey, I know you, right? When you haven't even met them before. Like, I feel like I've known you from another, thing. And you find your soul tribe. And if you're lucky, maybe your family comes with you through this and you meet your family on this side. But some people don't. Some people never see their family again after their great awakening. You also have a choice here just to keep doing what you've been doing. But usually this is the path of kind of withering away and being reincarnated again. But if you can make it through this awakening, this phase, then you get to find your soul tribe. Capricorn is the creation of the new earth that you want to create. And then Sagittarius is the heaven on earth. It's the last gasp of life before you return back to Creator with all of your experiences and your stories. So that's the cosmic healer's journey. That's how I see it. That's how I see my soul moving through this realm. It's not a big deal. It's a temporary experience. I chose my chart. I chose my challenges. So I get to decide how I want to move through that. So you see, my zodiac doesn't control me. It shows me the map. And when you know what each sector of your chart is doing for you, it's really, really helpful to be able to move through that. So the reason I explained all that is because when we look at 3I-ATLAS in the sky, which is right here, this is the constellation of Virgo. It is days away from entering Leo. It is days away from birthing something, right? Or being birthed. The entrance into Virgo with Mercury and Mars was like this cosmic insemination. And then we had this new moon with the perihelion and the sun conjunction. And it was like a gestation. It was like something got seeded here. And the birth of that, I believe, because of the energy and because of, what I download when I look at the sky, is that as this comet moves into, or interstellar object, I should say, as it moves into Leo, it enters this new energy of innocence, of divinity, of connected to the childlike instinct. So something is being born here. I don't know what it is. It could be different for everybody. I feel like this comet is literally affecting everyone a little bit differently. I see the healer's journey, the cosmic healer's journey path, because it came from the galactic center. If we rise the sun up a little bit, it came from this part of the sky. And it has moved. It has fallen like an angel, like a soul descending, gone through Libra, planted its seed in Virgo, and now is being reborn in Leo. And because the sun was here and it went through perihelion, instead of seeing it in the western sky, it kind of did a dive the way Venus does. She goes from evening star to morning star very quickly, and that's precisely what this comet did. And so in the morning, right before the sun rises, if we go back a few hours, this comet is easily observable by ground-based telescopes. So people know where it is. This isn't a joke. Some people are saying there's probes. I don't know. I think it's inorganic. I don't think there's intelligent life form on there trying to contact us. At this point, we would have seen it, I think. If it is, the chances are probably pretty low, but it's still resonating with us on that archetypal level that I opened our discussion about. When you gaze up at the sky, yes, this is a comet we cannot see with our naked eyeballs, but we can see it with our assisted devices. We know it's there, and it's doing something to our collective subconscious. It is resonating in an archetypal groove for all of us in unique ways. This part of my chart is in my fourth house. I want to say fourth, fifth house. So that for me is already sort of like birthing something creative. So I think there's some kind of expansion here, some kind of birthing, some kind of opening up. And I think maybe if you've been doing this unconsciously, you might get a surprise. You might get something you weren't expecting here as well too. So those are my thoughts on 3I-ATLAS, and those are the skies. I do have a PowerPoint I want to share because I just want to show you some of the angles that are going on in the charts. Oh, that's nice. This slide opened right up. I just want to thank everybody that has been supporting me as a channel member, especially those of you that joined during the live stream. That's pretty awesome. This is a smallish community, but it's one of the most beautiful communities I've ever had the honor to be a part of. Like, every one of you is kind. Nobody is like judgy. You're all trying to help each other, help me. And so I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. These are the people. So stand up and take a bow. And those of you with the yellow stars have been with us for 8 months. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here is the chart for today. We talked about where everything was, but one thing I wanted to point out to you guys was this amazing grand trine we're working with. This is that Saturn Neptune point, the Jupiter point, and the Black Moon Lilith point. This has been very stable. We've had this grand trine for about a month now. And what's so nice about Black Moon Lilith in Libra, Libra's very calm. Libra's not emotional. Libra's not over the top, right? So when you have an energy like Black Moon Lilith, it's almost as if she has a path to walk to be heard. And this energy of Mercury moving through has allowed for some very profound truths to come out into our general collective and in our personal psyches. Would you agree? I would absolutely say that there has been so many secrets coming out over the last several months. And Jupiter is only expanding that. I don't think it's going to get any better, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, at least not for the next couple of weeks. More information is going to keep coming out. More things are going to start flowing towards our gnosis. We also have, the Saturn and Neptune duo here. Neptune's going to go direct on the 10th, so we're not too far away from that point. But again, the veil's going to drop. So I think between now and the 10th, we're going to get a peak, a surge of information, and then things are going to go quiet for a little while after Neptune goes direct. There'll be something that doesn't feel quite right. Something feels really fishy after the 10th. So a surge, more information coming out, a surge of information with both of these planets direct. Then there'll be a cessation of it becoming more public, I think. So there's that. Then we've got Mars and Ophiuchus. This is the bends I was talking about. So you have this square to the lunar nodes. And in Ophiuchus, do check out that video so that you guys can get a download on how to read that. And then also the Saturn direct. There's 2 videos out there that I recently did last week that will help you through these 2 energies on a personal level. Let's go forward in time a little bit. I wanted to show you the Venus time map, because this is where we've been and this is where we're going. This is another big thing that's coming up because, it's just mind-blowing when you think about it. Venus is in Libra now, and on Tuesday, she will move into the sign of Scorpio. So this is the week we're in right now. And do you notice this yellow shading? You all see that, right? All right, this means that Venus is within the orb of the sun right now. She's within 10 degrees of Sol, and she is on a trajectory that takes her behind the sun from our point of view. So that Eastern morning star is no longer visible, and she is transiting behind the sun. So this Venus is working through the sun. There's really nothing you can do. This is the end of her cycle. She's kind of on autopilot here. There is usually a course that is planned out and already kind of fated for Venus this close to the sun. So you kind of just got to go along with the ride with the Venus direct energy. Tomorrow is a sun moon golden phoenix angle. For those of you that don't know what that is, if you're a channel member, I have a lecture on that you can go and watch right now. It's 45 minutes long. It will give you the full download on why we follow the golden phoenix angle. But there's here on this, a month ago, you can see the golden phoenix window, what it does and why this coming week will be intense. Because you have this angle of intensity, of shaking up, of pattern break, followed by a full moon, followed by another angle. And you are about to enter into that next week with the same energy. You've got the Phoenix angle here, you've got your full moon here, and another Phoenix angle on the 7th, I want to say. So let's go into the week after. So we have Mercury direct, we have the Phoenix angle, we have Venus entering Scorpio. What I want to do is read to you the excerpts from the Venus frequency on Venus in Scorpio and Venus in Ophiuchus. So you guys have this basic information, and if you have this in your natal chart, you will at least know what you are going through. So Venus in Scorpio is the light in the shadows. She is the embodiment of sacred depth, erotic transformation, and the raw power of emotional truth. This Venus is not skimming the surface. She dives. She touches the places that others fear to go. And all of the planets are here, you guys. So we are in the darkness on Tuesday. This is a love that comes with intensity, heals through sensation, and creates from the furnace of her own transmutation. This is not the love of polite affection, right? This is soul merging, truth bearing, and life altering intimacy. So Libra was an energy where Venus reflected and harmonized, but now the energy is being called to penetrate and transform. But hopefully, as you've gone through the Libra, you know exactly where you need to go. You just kind of need to take a deep breath, hold your nose, and jump, right? Because you're going to come out on the other side of the sun with a clean slate, with an energy that is available for amazing manifestation. This energy is also drawn to what others repress, because this energy knows that within the darkest spaces lies the greatest creative potential. I love Ophiuchus energy. You guys are going to love this if you're following Venus. She is like the priestess of integration here. She teaches us that we cannot banish our shadow without also banishing our light. And her beauty comes from wholeness, from the weaving together of what is sacred and what is scarred. So when Venus is aligned, when you're within your Venus space and you know how, you're flowing, right? It's alchemy. Every ending is a beginning here. There's beauty within this decay. This energy will help you love fiercely without possessing and releasing without fear. So for our creative energies, for our Venus energies, we need to release illusion. We need to feel completely, and we need to love with the courage of one who knows that even loss is sacred energy. So this is raw, energetic, magnetic, transformative, diving in, unafraid. It can be very intimate, although intense. It can be very passionate, instinctual, and loyal. There's a truth here. You have to be very, very truthful here with Venus in Scorpio, because it's just the ride of bliss, right? I don't know that anybody's going to have a retrograde Venus in Scorpio. I don't think. If you do, let me know. But you can have an evening star in Scorpio, or you can have a morning star in Scorpio. So if you have an evening star in Scorpio, this is the seeker of raw truth through raw experience. This is kind of a Venus evening star is fresh energy. So it's more energetic. It's going to bounce off the walls and kind of see what sticks, and anything that doesn't work, she's just going to sort of flow right past it. And so there's a little bit more of an intensity with an evening star. With a morning star, this is more calculated energy, right? It's a deep, slow burning, regenerative energy. Both are necessary though. So one energy will initiate the descent, and the other will bring us back. Together, they're teaching us that love is not always light, but sometimes it is the holy fire that transforms us from within. Oh, I love Venus so much. Let's do Venus in Ophiuchus. So Venus is 100% holier here in Ophiuchus. When you have Venus in Ophiuchus, like actually within those stars, shadow becomes the synthesis, right? So where Scorpio's like, take the plunge, merge, be intense. This is transcendence. This is moving past the plunge and finally rising to take that breath, right? So you've taken a deep breath, you've held your nose, you jump in for the plunge. Now you're zooming upward and you can see the light and you're about to take that brand new first breath. This is like divine Sophia energy. This is Seshat, the ancient goddess of astronomy. This is the oracle of love and knowledge and transmutational forces. This is alchemy in action, okay? And this is all going to happen, guys, right here between Venus entering Scorpio and Venus entering Sagittarius. So it's going to be profound. It's going to be a deep and intense several days, I mean, even with the sun moving through this space. There's a paradoxical energy to Ophiuchus. She's medicine woman for sure, but she's also vampire. She can restore life and also devour it. There's a polarity, right? And what you have to do if you have a Venus in Ophiuchus is find that balance, because that is, when that polarity is embodied consciously, it's the key to your immortality. And I don't mean living forever, but I do mean remembering forever, remembering your soul, and even creating a legacy that people remember forever. So you're going to walk a fine line between nurturing and consuming, and between empowering others and feeding off of their energy. But you're a channel of deep wisdom. You're a channel of spiritual transformation and healing, but it's through the intimate energy. But you have the potential, Venus in Ophiuchus, to manipulate and drain and destabilize everyone you touch. So if you're noticing that pattern in your life, you need to get in touch with your Venus in Ophiuchus and figure out how to work with the energy constructively. There's a natural ability to transform relationships, to heal others, to access deep wisdom. And oftentimes, Venus in Ophiuchus, you might find yourself as a catalyst, awakening others. It depends on what house it's in for you. You're magnetic, you're untamable, you're transformative. It's an energy that really cannot be contained. When you're an evening star, this is the Kundalini flame. This is the activation of others through sight, through sound, through presence, through being in that moment, and opening up those tantric portals for others, living instinctively, guided by ancestral codes and ancient memories. She initiates transformation through beauty, touch, sensation, and spirit. So Venus in Ophiuchus, evening stars, you are seduction and sacred fire. Hot, very beautiful. And when Venus rises before the sun, this is morning star. And this is a Venus that's already sort of walked through death and emerged with the medicine. She heals through sound, through language, through holding the divine and devoted presence. And she knows what must be released, and she understands that love is the transmission of soul back to source. And her beauty has been earned. Her pleasure is a testimony, and her touch is alchemical. So we need them both. Evening star stirs the serpent, and morning star delivers the final transmission. And together they reveal a love that is creative and destructive at the same time. So yeah, this is what we're moving through with Venus. And then, like I said, on the 10th, Neptune will go direct. Mars will cross the galactic center and enter Sagittarius. This is like Phoenix rising energy too. And as you can see, the conjunction with the sun is getting more and more intense for planet Venus. Venus will pick up a square to Saturn on the second half, right before Christmas, with both Saturn and Neptune. They will both be direct. This is not necessarily a bad energy. It simply means that what is been discovered, what's being integrated into your spiritual life, may require some creative solutions. Okay. Remember, these guys are also, in a trine to Jupiter. So there's an expansion here. So a lot of times when there's a square, Venus has to figure out how to either deal with a contraction or an expansion. So there may be both. There's just a shift in the creative energy that's requiring you to change what you've been doing. However, Venus, starting on Friday, will also be squaring our lunar nodes. She will be in the bends, following the energy of Mars being in the bends. So we might actually, this might be a self-initiated change of direction with Saturn and Neptune, whereas this might initiate that. So like, what are we doing? Where are we from? What do we want to accomplish? And what are we really good at? What do I need to learn maybe? And so we'll be grappling with that at beginning next weekend and the week following. And then we'll probably have to change something in our spiritual practices here the week before Thanksgiving. Then we've got Sun entering Sag. We've got the Sagittarius new moon with the closest approach of 3I-ATLAS. Then we have the solstice. And then we have Venus entering Sagittarius. And then it's Christmas week and she's unaspected. So this is a very interesting play of energies with the astrology. This is what I've been thinking about. This is what I've been working on. Yeah, I'm just, so even though I haven't been doing a whole lot of live streams, I've definitely been keeping my eyes on the skies and trying to see what we wanted to get through here. All right. How to connect with me. If you guys want to, free support is just liking the video, hype it. It's a new feature. Some videos have it, some don't. Subscribe if you're lurking. Share this video. If there's any nuggets of truth or information that's helped you in this video at all, please share it for someone that might need it. You can always join the Fellowship of 13 Signs and come over and join the conversation with us. From time to time, I'll post silly memes, making fun of tropical astrologers in a lighthearted way. We have fun. You can also join the channel. It is $6.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. We hang out for about an hour or two once a month, right around or before the full moon, or the new moon. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks. We just go over the month's astrology. People ask me questions about their charts. I will look at your charts personally if you join that call. There's also exclusive content in the membership section. You get a replay of the video if you can't make it to the live stream or to the Zoom call. And then you will also get first look. So for example, the November full moon will come out tomorrow for members. And everybody else is going to have to wait probably a day or two. So yeah, and then you can also send one as a gift. So if you're thinking about the perfect gift for the holiday, you can send somebody a gift to our channel membership. You can also get a reading. I did recently refurbish my reading page so that my offerings were more clear. You can also take a course with me. You can also buy the 13th sign, the book, Ophiuchus and the Astrology They Don't Want You to See. So let me share with you really quick, and we'll close this out, what I've done to my offers so that it makes sense. And this, if you don't need a reading, that's cool. But if you know somebody that needs one, you can always point them this way. I'm calling it the gateway approach because over the years, I've kind of categorized the kind of folks that want me to engage with them. And normally it's like, okay, what does my chart say? Just give me your reading. And so this is very clear. I do numerology. I do your astrology. I do the energy of right now for you. And then I also do a bonus oracle with tarot cards for you. You get all of that in a recorded video, and it is sent to you within a week or so, usually less than a week. So you can do that if you want. Those of you that have coupon codes can use these for these readings. The other two ways that people come at me are, okay, I need this kind of reading. What should I get? So if you're studying a particular planet and you want to deep dive into that planet, I do readings like that. Like I do a Pluto reading, I can do a Saturn reading, I can do a Venus reading. Those are all there. And so all you do is you click on this and schedule it, and then you and I will talk for 30 minutes, and you will tell me precisely what it is you want me to do with your chart, and then we will go on to it. So if you already know your astrology, but you want some kind of deep analysis, you want some kind of timing technique, like transits, or you're going through a time, like I know I'm going through my Saturn return, or I know I'm going through my Pluto square, I need you to focus on that, we can do that. And there's a whole lot of tools in astrology that we can use. I don't use that in the basic reading because this is just a quick introduction to your energy. That happens in this reading too, but I'm using more advanced techniques to really tease out the answer that you're looking for. And then finally, I get people that are like, I don't want that and I don't want this, but I really just kind of want this. And so what I'm asking you to do, we're going to use applied astrology, strategic timing, there's projects, there's outer planet, there's all kinds of things that people approach me for. And so this is for you guys. If you want to collaborate with me, If you want me to do something special with your astrology, if you have a business where you need some astrology information, you want to know about surgery timing, you have fertility, something like that, we can work. I can work with you. I just need to know what you want. So this will set up a call with me where we talk about it, or you can peruse some of my specialty readings down here. Okay, I've got the ones I really love are the Venus forecast. I also have added an urgent astrology consult. So if you have just gotten some shitty news or something really horrible's happening, or I don't know what, I can help you. I can help you think through it. I can help you look at your astrology and see what's next. This has to be live. This has to be together. I will normally have within a week an hour time slot that you can grab. So if you want to do this, you just grab the earliest appointment and I will be there. Okay. If you need sooner, just reach out. I can probably squeeze you in somewhere, but because I do have protected time in my schedule. The Purpose and Prosperity reading, another fan favorite. We do zodiacal release in here. I tell you what your purpose is. I kind of show you like where you're going to have the best luck in life. And then also this is a reading that I've had that archived for a while that is about partnership astrology. This is very intense. This is very deep. So I encourage you, if you want to do a reading with your partner, to look at this. And then also the 3 moon strategy. So if you've got, something coming up in your business, your life, you've got 3 months to think about it. This is a great reading because you're going to get transits through the rest of through that 3-month period. So you can check those out. And then of course, my star posters and Stellar Foundation. So hopefully that's easier to read. And like when people go there, they can just kind of figure out what they want to do. The only way to get to the specialty readings is to go through gateway number 3. So that's how you get there. I will have a gateway number 4 because I want to start doing memberships, not memberships, but like apprenticeships and mentorships and things like that. I just haven't really kind of figured out how I want to do that. So that has changed there. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you. I think I told you guys everything. Yep, this is what I've been working on. You guys liking the shorts? I'm really enjoying the feedback I'm getting. They're a lot of fun to watch too. So shout out to Vishal for his hard work. Let me know in the comments if you think we should go another month or 2 or 3, or if we should just hire him straight up to do what he does. I think I may do that with him. I think there was something else I wanted to tell you guys, but I can't remember. I feel like I told you everything. Let's see. Yep, I did that. We got through a lot, you guys. Wonderful. All right, let's see what y'all are talking about. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Yeah. Heather's going to be on the call. When are we going to do that? I have to think about that date. Let me tell you guys right now. I'll do that while we're hanging out. Gotta go to the calendar. So the new moon is on the 19th. I think we should meet the weekend of the 15th or the 16th. 15th, one of those 2 days. So that'll be the Stargazers Zoom call. And I think I will, if I'm not working, I'll do it on Sunday. If I am working on Sunday, we'll do it on Saturday night. Okay. So that's solved. All right. Kaki says, I wish I could visit with you all day, Dr. D. Yes, that'd be fun. We drink some coffee, not smoke. Thank you, Moon Baby Mastery. Yeah, the middle section of that book, part 2, goes through that entire cosmic journey, cosmic healer's journey. I feel like it's a much more resonant way to read the sky, to read that hero's journey that we're all on, especially when you do wake up, when you find yourself awake in this existence and you want to know what the meaning of it all is. It just makes so much more sense if you're a soul playing a role for a minute, and in such a vast cosmos, to think that this particular round of physicality is the most important thing. Just seems silly to me. I like the idea of being a fractal of divinity, experiencing life so that I can share that back with Source, and that each one of you are also Source, are also a part of me, just as I'm a part of you. It makes existence a little bit more purposeful. If anything, what is your purpose here? It's to show yourself compassion, to show another human being compassion, regardless of what they've done, where they've been, what they think. If you can do that, then you've done your job. You're doing it. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, Moon Baby, that's Justin. Hi. Hi. Love it. I don't know what IKR is either. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, okay. I know, right? Yeah, I actually, there's a part of me that really wants 3I-ATLAS to be something, where we're actually making contact. I really feel like we need that. I think humanity's ready. I don't think that the world will crumble as it is. I think we'll all change our perspective and start rebuilding the world in a way that's congruent as a cosmic citizen. I guess the only thing that's going to save our planet is if we really do meet other intelligence beyond our Earth. And I know some of us have in spirit or in, downloads or meditations, but I mean, the guy from Pleiades, like sitting here right next to me and we go, well, so how long did it take you to get here? Like that would be really it, because think of how much we would learn from them. Think of how much we would know, about how the universe actually works. That'd be so cool. Second to first house. Yeah. So that's good. You might be getting a gift from it. Thank you, Mary Mystic Lorner, for lurking. Just don't listen to anything from Candlebox. Okay. Yes, let's do it. These readings are so good. Sometimes I don't even remember what I say. I just do what I've learned, like I've learned the archetypes. I've learned to work with them. I've embodied them through going through these gates time and time again, not only with Stellar Foundations, but just in my own, personal astrological journey. Oh, that's what I was going to show you guys. Oh yeah, I had one more thing, kind of like the big thing that's coming. That's really exciting. So let me do this and I'll show it to you. Oh no, God. I'm so thankful for verification codes. Oh man, I don't want to see this. I want to just do that. There we go. Let's go to that. Okay, here we go. Do not show. Snooze. Okay. All right, let me share my screen and show you this. So for those of you that want to learn astrology, but maybe you feel like, oh, I'm just not that technical. I don't like math. I don't like angles. I don't like geometry. I don't like memorizing. But you want to get into it. You want to understand it, where the magic is. And I promise you, the magic is not memorizing these archetypes and their rulers and their angles. That's not where the magic is. It can unlock a lot of magic for you. But the real magic is in understanding the cycles, because when you guys look at a chart, all you're looking at is the snapshot of the moment. It's like taking a picture in time, and then you get the Polaroid, or you get the screenshot of the image, and you decipher what's happened in that moment just by looking at the picture. But when pictures don't give you the full story, when you go on a great vacation, or you have a great experience and you take pictures, the pictures don't even do it justice. Like the Grand Canyon, for example, is one of those things. I've been to the Grand Canyon, and it's like gorgeous. I take a picture, I'm like, it doesn't look like that, right? It's the same thing with astrology. And when you just look at a chart and you're trying to learn from the chart, it's the same thing. You cannot really understand the full majesty and the full beauty of what it is you're studying until you're in it and you're doing it. And so I've come up with a really cool course that you can do if you're just familiar with the words, right? Like if you know what Sun and Saturn and Mercury retrograde and the moon phases are, if you know all of that, like if you can speak a little bit of astrology with us, this course will be perfect for you, because I'm not teaching you that skill. I'm teaching you a new skill, and it is a way to understand the cycles of the heavens. And there's no math either. I'm not going to do any math. It's called the Cycles of Light Masterclass, and no astrology is required. This is kind of a soft announcement just for you guys kind of hanging out at the end with me here. I'm going to do more of a formal push a little bit before Christmas, but I created it and I was really excited. So I just wanted you guys to see it. You don't have to buy it. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to sign up just yet. But here it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking you through all of these cycles, like in real time. And then I'm going to give you kind of a prediction of the space we're moving through for 2026. This is going to be probably a 3-hour seminar. You can free preview the welcome letter to get more details on it. But I just wanted to show that to you. I think this will be a great way to get people to be like less intimidated by astrology. Because yeah, there's a lot to learn, but nothing is that hard, right? Nothing is that hard. You just have to synthesize it. And when I look at the pictures of my memories of my Grand Canyon trip, I can close my eyes and I can put myself in the Grand Canyon, and I can remember the Grand Canyon, right? I can also look back at my Mexico trip and I close my eyes, I can put myself on the beach. But when you just go from the picture, you can't picture that. So it's the same thing with astrology. If you have a chart in front of you, you can't really see what's happening when you close your eyes. And this class is going to help you do that, because you're going to be able to see it. And then when you get the snapshot, it's going to click for you. I promise. So that's what I'm really excited about. And that's what I'm working on. I think we should go ahead and kind of wrap it up if you guys don't have any more questions. Let's see if there's anything here. Oh, I wasn't sharing the screen? Oh, shit. Okay. Let me do it again then. Let me share it because I want you guys to see it. Can you see it? All right, that's the class. There's a link in the description below. It says undertake a class if you want to check it out. No pressure now. I was just really excited about it and super proud of it. So there it is. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay, so that's the class. So that will teach you guys all about the solar system you are living in. And the sky is crazy right now. So check out the Saturn video, check out the Mars video. That'll help you. And then stay tuned for the full moon video coming in just a few days for everyone. And thank you again to the members. Thank you all for being here. I'm so honored to have this community and you guys' support. It just warms my heart every day. So I will let you all go. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in a few days, probably after the full moon. We'll do another live stream and check in. Maybe I'll do like a long Q&A or something. So let me give you guys, let me do this real quick. I want to give you a fun video to end on. Right here, just remember this. See you guys soon. Take care.